I'm Alex Lowy. I work in financial services for a company outside Philadelphia, and I got a 730 on the GMAT. I'm applying to Columbia, Wharton, Duke, MIT, NYU, Kellogg, and Ross. And thus far I'm 5 for 5 on interviews and still waiting to hear from a couple of others. When I first started out, I knew I needed help. I had the sensation, which will be common for any of you who have taken a practice test, which is you see a problem in the quantitative section, you know you've seen it before, you know that you used to know how to solve it, and yet you have absolutely no idea where to begin or what to do. And so one of the things that was great was that I didn't have to spend, with working with Apex, I didn't have to spend all this time relearning all of these skills. It was just sort of understanding what the problem is actually asking and was able to circumvent relearning 4 years of high school math. They did a really good job of addressing the whole test, but really understanding where I was weak and where I needed to improve, and then tailoring solutions for me so that I could master those areas, and ended up doing really well and improving my score pretty drastically. My instructor did a really good job of making sure that I had a well-rounded toolbox with which I could approach problems, and so that way when I sat down on the test and if I thought about something and if it wasn't working, I could just easily default to the next option, and I could work my way through a problem that when I sit down and first look at it, I didn't necessarily know the answer right away. So that part was really helpful. I felt like they were in my camp and in my corner and really making sure that I was putting my best foot forward and making sure that I was going to get the best possible score that I could. And so the support system that was in place was great. So the experience for me was seamless. I felt like I got all the support that I needed, and that I wasn't just sort of a cookie cutter sort of curriculum, that things were really tailored towards my deficiencies and my needs, and we could sort of skip over things that I knew that I was comfortable with, and we could dive deeper in things that I knew I was weaker with. And so it was just a great experience overall. My instructor and Apex were actually the first people to respond and were more responsive than anyone else who I considered, and again seemed to, the fact that I was talking directly to my instructor and not some sort of customer service or marketing or salesperson was a big selling point for me. The fact that I had that direct interaction right off the bat was great. And then I really did get the sense that my instructor knew the test backwards and forwards and really had a pedagogy in place for what he wanted to accomplish and the way he was going to accomplish it. But ultimately, I got the sense that I was getting more value for my money, and sort of made sure I understood that I was paying a premium for a premium service, and the customization and the tailoring that I was going to get, and the sort of the white glove service. I certainly feel like I got my money's worth, and ultimately it's an investment in your education. And so the more you invest, the more you'll get out of it. In terms of if you're on the fence about working with Apex, I give them a pretty strong recommendation. I'm in the customer service industry myself, and I had pretty high expectations, and every single one of them was met.